What's going on, people? I'm here reviewing Tokyo Ghoul. Gonna probably just review episode 1-3 briefly. Also, before I go any further, thank you guys who watched my last review of aldnoah.zero. That was my first time reviewing anything besides Naruto, and it went well. And also, the reason I haven't reviewed any Naruto mangas recently is because they all been boring, so I haven't reviewed any. And also, the only really cool thing of last chapter was Obito's eyes bleeding, and I don't think that was really enough to review on. Like, this chapter. Did y'all see Obito's eyes bleeding? Anyway, this is a Naruto discussion. So anyway, Tokyo Ghoul. Fun fact: the main character of Tokyo Ghoul is also the voice. I can't speak. Is the same voice actor for aldnoah.zero, the main character. So both have the same main character voice actors. Both, you know, pretty new series upcoming. I believe they're both gonna be pretty popular. I believe Tokyo Ghoul is a bit more popular than aldnoah.zero, but from what I've seen, they're both doing real good. Hopefully, aldnoah.zero brings a really good episode 3, and it continues to do really good. Hopefully, it doesn't focus this too. Hopefully, the series doesn't go on to focus too much on the mechas, and you know, so just more on the story and what it's been doing so far. But anyway, pretty much, Tokyo Ghoul main character is Kaneki. His friend, I don't remember his friend's name, sorry, but he had a friend who was very keen, very energetic as well. Kaneki was interested in a girl who they both have in common of reading books. They like to read. Turns out the girl was a ghoul and her name was Rise. So she convinces him to follow her home, you know, take her home. And this is a really sketchy area. I'm like, really? You live here? So he takes her home, and that's when she starts attacking him, trying to eat him. You know, she likes the horror on his face, and you know, she wrecks all his organs, you know. Yeah, and he's trying to escape, and that's when Toyko, who I believe is another teenage ghoul who works at a coffee shop, by the way, which is run by ghouls. She makes all these industrial parts, you know, like metal beams and stuff, fall on Rise, and that's when Kaneki is brought to the hospital. And let me remind you, they don't know that Rise is a ghoul, but her organs were transplanted into Kaneki because his organs were just ruined. And that's when he becomes half ghoul and half human, because pretty much her DNA got implanted into him, so he can't eat anything. Everything he eats is like shit. That's why you can't trust these hosts. 1 minute you take them out to eat, and next thing you know, they attacking you. Not even for the money, they just attacking you. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, he can't eat anything. He can't eat his favorite burger he usually likes, and everything just tastes like crap to him. And then he goes into the middle of downtown. He still hasn't eaten anything. He smells something good, turns out to be a human. And long story short, he gets knocked out and brought to the coffee shop place, which is run by the old guy who is also a ghoul. The old guy offers him, you know, to stay there, learn what it's like, you know, to be a ghoul and all this other stuff. So episode 3 starts off with him learning how to make coffee right. The old guy teaches him how to eat the food so he could blend in more with the human society, and you know, also be able to, you know, enjoy meals and hang out with his friends some more. And the trick to it is, because pretty much when it comes to stuff like sandwiches, they don't chew it like eat it. They take a bite, swallow it whole, and I guess later on when they're alone, they throw it back up in order so it doesn't digest and, you know, ruin their health, because it's not healthy for them to eat human food at that point. That's the case for that. And it also shows him some sugar cubes that he could put into his coffee to suppress his hunger when he's not able to eat. And obviously the sugar cubes have some type of human product in it, like maybe blood or some type of human flesh grinded down or whatever. Either way, it has some type of human flesh in it. One thing I like about this series is we're seeing him fight the urge to eat humans. And one good example is at one point he was about to eat his friend after he got rid of Nishiki, who was a upperclassman ghoul that went to the same school as him. He finished whooping up Nishiki because Nishiki threatened his friend, threatened his life, gonna eat his friend. That's when Kaneki opened up his ghoul powers and pretty much started beating up on Nishiki, knocked him out, put him in the hospital. And after that, he was fighting his urge to eat his friend, and that's when Toyko came in. She was like, "Listen, nigga, if you do this, you're gonna regret it afterwards." You know, it's common sense. Right now, it's his ghoul side taking over, and throughout all of this, we keep seeing some type of image of Rise. He's seeing an image of Rise, persuading him to do this type of stuff. So she knocks him out, and that's when she brought him back to the coffee place, and that's when the guy offered, he's like, you know, you can stay here, learn what it's like, blah blah blah. And also, one thing I was wondering, when it comes to the fodder ghouls, and I'm calling them fodder ghouls because they get killed like it's nothing, just like the fodder ninjas in Naruto, do they not have these ghoul powers where they could just like make stuff appear out of their body and all these other appendages and yada yada yada? Do they not have that ability? Is it something you have to learn, or maybe they just don't have it? Because from what we've seen in episode 3, we get some information on CCG, which I believe is an organization which their plan is to get rid of all ghouls out of Tokyo, if I saw it correctly. And it seems we don't know enough about their motives yet, but pretty much a team of 2 have been going around murking all these fodder ninjas throughout the city, trying to get fodder ninjas. What I was saying, fodder ghouls from the city, trying to get information about them. Do they know anything about this like type of wrench looking thing? And so far, none of them have known anything about the wrench. And you know, they're playing it really smart. They're like, for one example, they left one ghoul partially injured to, you know, go on and tell the story to one of his friends, and they tracked that ghoul back to his friend. And you know, this is a cycle of getting more information. So, you know, they're playing it really smart. And the ghouls call them doves. The ghouls at the coffee shop call them doves. And that's when Kaneki was taken back to, I believe his name was Uda, who is a ghoul mask maker, and he makes masks for them. I don't know if it's a physical mask that they just put on, and the mask is intended so the doves don't take notice of them, because if a dove sees them, then he's gonna know that it's a ghoul. I don't know how, but yeah, he's gonna know that he's a ghoul. Yada yada yada. Uda's a very interesting character, it seems. You know, he's asking him all these questions like, hey, do you have a girlfriend? Blah blah blah. What do you think of what is her name? Toka, I believe her name. Yeah, what do you think of Toka? He's like, she's scary. And then Uda's like, no, she's actually a hard worker. And it seems Toka is very, very desperately wanting this to be a human girl. And it seems she's trying to find a way to be normal. And she's actually taking a huge risk by going to school, communicating in society a little bit. She's actually taking a huge risk because she's not wearing a mask and all that other stuff. So just from that, I infer that it just seems as if she just wants to be normal. Is he's just trying to see what it's like, especially when Kaneki, when he was like, yo, this sucks, I don't like any of this. And then she was like, whoa, if it sucks, then that must mean my life must really suck, since I've been living my whole life like this. And so that's with her. And then later on, I believe, or maybe this was before this event, Kaneki has to go with, I don't remember the guy's name, but he has to go with this one dude who goes out to this spot where humans commit suicide and where they jump off this cliff. And like, honestly, if you're gonna commit suicide, why the hell are you gonna jump off a cliff? That's not really a suitable place for me. I mean, there's many, I don't know, I guess it is kind of quick, I guess, but the horror of, you know, while you're falling, I can just imagine it's just not, I don't know, I can't. Anyway, but yeah. So pretty much they go there, and what they do there is they get the bodies from the people that committed suicide. So it's a common place for people to commit suicide, and they take it back for the people who can't kill humans themselves, so they have something to eat. And 2 of them, there are 2 females that arrive there. They can know, I believe one is the wife of another ghoul that can. They are pretty much 2 females, 1 daughter and 1 mom. They can no longer stay with their husband/father, because it seems he is in some type of sketchy situation, which wouldn't make it so it wouldn't be safe for them to stay with him. So they're now staying at the coffee shop, and Kaneki, you know, he's helping them out, yada yada yada. And you know, he's trying to get friendly with the little girl, giggity. Not really, but he is trying to get friendly with little girl. So he's walking in trying to say hi to the little girl, and he walks in on her, and while she is eating a human. You know, it was all censored out. Now, I don't know if she had forks or anything like that, because if she did, it sure as hell wasn't doing anything, because there was blood all over her face. So, I don't know. Maybe she was just eating it with her hands. I don't know. But if she had any utensils, it sure wasn't doing its job. But, yeah, and when you saw the look on her face, obviously she's a bit younger than him. When you saw the look on her face, when he was all frightened, because he, you know, he's still kind of skeptical. It seems as if he's starting to accept the whole ghoul life, you know. He didn't choose the ghoul life chose him. But you know, so he still gets frightened when he sees that type of stuff. So he was all frightened. He's like, I'm sorry, and you know, he leaves the room, and the look on her face, she was all shocked. And then she starts wiping her mouth. You know, she just looked like a mess, you know, just like a sad state to be in, you know, to see someone be frightened. You know, maybe she's not used to being frightened of, because she's usually just used to being around normal ghouls, and all the ghouls that have been around him notice that he smells different and that there's something different about him. So later on, he gets some information from another ghoul that works there. He's like, you know, she's a female. You know, most people don't want to be seen in that type of environment of them eating, especially if you're a female ghoul. You know, you're gonna be in a bad shape. You know, it's not a sight to see. It's not a sight to be seen in, to say, when you're eating a human. So he gives her a cup of coffee to, you know, take back to her to apologize. So he goes back into the room, tells her that he's sorry for what just happened. She's like, it's okay. He sees the book that she's reading and that there's words that she's not able to understand. So he offers that he will teach her to read the words, and that's when their friendly relationship kicks off. Now they're friends. And now at the end of the episode, we see some purple haired dude walk into the store, and that's when the episode ends. We don't know what his purpose is or whatever. Also, I believe closer to like the beginning of the episode, Kaniki's friend is also in the shop, and right after he leaves, Toka's like, okay, make sure you don't let him know anything about you being a ghoul, because if he does find out, I'm gonna kill him right on the spot without any hesitation. And he's like, yo, why would you do that? You don't have to do that. And he's like, yes it is, because that happens, it could be traced back to a coffee shop and they could all be found out and potentially killed. And I think it's pretty obvious at this point that at some point in the series, Kaniki's friend is going to find out about him being Ghoul. Maybe he already knows, because in episode 2, while he was in the room after he was brought back to the, I'm just going to call it the Ghoul shop, they were in the room talking. Kaneki and the old Ghoul guy, they were in the room talking about it out loud, like it was just nothing, like, you know, not like the guy could just be laying there with his eyes closed and just listening, pretending to be asleep. But you know, obviously to them that's just not possible. And as soon as they walked out the room, he moved his head and it seemed as if he woke up, meaning there is a possibility that he heard the whole conversation. He has yet to, you know, show any reaction to it. He's just playing it cool. So for all we know, he may know, and when the time comes, he might be like, listen, Kaneki, I knew the whole time, you know, so that type of stuff. So that's pretty much it for episode 3, and that's pretty much all I like to talk about for 1, 2, 3. Same thing as my aldnoah review. This review for Tokyo Ghoul was kind of long, since I kind of, you know, did a review from episode 1 all the way to 3. So episode 4 will be a much shorter review. So tell me what you guys think. I highly, really recommend you guys check out this series. If you guys didn't check out aldnoah.zero, I really recommend you guys check out Tokyo Ghoul, and you really, I'm saying really a lot, you would not regret it. It's a really nice series. You sit from episode 1 to 3, they've done a really great job from, you know, bringing the good stuff. The animation is great. I love the animation. Soundtrack, like music wise, I'm not really sure if there's anything special when it comes to music wise with the series compared to like aldnoah.zero and, you know, like Attack on Titan music wise, but animation wise it is great. I haven't seen any lack of animation, and the stuff that they're bringing in the series, we're seeing some character development already. It's all very nice stuff. So tell me what you guys think. I recommend you guys check it out. I'll talk to you 6 people later. Deuces.